Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you what I think are the best AI note takers and the applications that I use them for. Hey everybody, welcome back to another quick 10-minute video on learning AI tools. And this time we're going to talk about AI note takers. I think they're one of the best and most versatile tools. For me especially, I have a lot of thoughts in my head going around all the time. And to be able to just conceptualize those and put them into a software and have it summarize my thoughts, create action plans for me, and create essentially a workflow or a plan ahead that I could use my thoughts and turn them into an actionable item, or just at least have them as an area that I could reference to later. So looking at what's out there, I mean, there's tons of options out there. Now, I like to use one option. There's many others here, and when I go through them, I can easily say that I've tried a couple of these. ChatGPT even has a simpler, more of a prompt-based note taker. Well, it will take your thoughts, it'll summarize them. I use Wave personally, and I'll jump into it here real quick. They have a couple of plan options. I like to use the standard plan. It gives me enough time per month of what I need. And they also have a free plan if you just want to use some basic transcriptions. But what I like the most about it is if you do a voice transcription, or so you use it as a note taker, and sometimes I'll just walk with my thoughts and I'll talk into it, especially if I'm coming up with an idea of something that I want to execute on. And what it'll do is it'll record everything I say, and it will summarize it. Here's the whole transcript of me just talking through it. It'll summarize it, but what I love the most is I can easily, quickly upload this into Google Docs or anywhere else, and it's easy for me to then jump in and have a look at, I can make some edits to it. I can do whatever I need to do. I can go through, I can then take this, I can copy it. I've just got, this is a small summary. I was working on, building lifetime customer trusted communication. I can then go take this, copy it, and jump into chat. And I could say like, review this summary. And give me your thoughts. Okay, so now we've got a summary of thoughts of what it thinks. Transparent communication, keep it tone professional. Now we can actually turn this into, particular industry, home services. I'd like to turn this into a problem solution set. I can create an actionable task out of. Let's see what it comes up with. Short-term sales mindset. So now it is producing actionable tasks and a follow-up set of systems, coming up with the problems, coming up with a couple of different problem sets. And so depending on what you're working on, this is a great tool to be able to, like I said, get something out of your mind, get it onto a transcription, and move it then into chat. Now, I went over prompt idea process in my last video, which talked about coming up with an idea and then turning it into a prompt set, and then using that prompt set to come up with an expert persona to then create the actionable item that I want out of it. This would be another layer to that, where I would be thinking out loud, talking into my transcription or talking into my note taker, putting some ideas in, putting some problems in, putting some solutions in, and then I could summarize that and ask for, remember what we needed here from Idea AI is we needed a task statement and a project context. Now let's copy this and go back into our prompt or what we were working on here. And then we say, I'd like to shorten and summarize all of this into these two questions. If you ever try to press enter in the chat box, make sure you hold shift or else you'll instantly send your message through. You know, I remember the first time I learned that, I was like, wow, come on, every time I press enter, I can't get this double space. It automatically sends my message through the chat, or even if you're typing or texting from your computer on WhatsApp or iMessage, if you hold the shift button and then press enter, you'll actually give yourself a line break. And then input you will receive. So inputs to create. And let's see what it comes up with. So here we go. So now I've taken this whole document and I have summarized it through voice into a transcription. I've put it into ChatGPT. I've asked it a couple of questions for more summary and breakdowns of it for context. And then I've turned it into a problem solution set that I can create an actionable task on. And now I need to get it back into a prompt setting. And what I like to do is create an expert persona that I can help them work with. Again, this might seem like a long-winded way to arrive at a solution, but if you're coming up with a complex idea or a complex problem, or you know of a complex solution, if you know of a complex problem that you're trying to find a solution for, this is the type of work process that you do need to work through in order to arrive at what that solution could be. So now I've got a task statement. Design and implement a simple follow-up communication system that builds long-term customer relationship, engages advocacy, referrals, reviews referrals, and sets clear expectation for tone and frequency of outreach. Most businesses lose future value by treating customers. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go back to Idea AI, and I'm going to write, I would like to create a new prompt list utilizing, and shift enter, and I'm going to put this up. And so just like the last video I made, now we're using Idea AI and Prompt AI, so Idea Prompt Process, to come up with the prompts that we need to build this out into an actionable item that we can then work on. So here's the straightforward prompts. There's 5 of them. Here's 5 creative prompts, and here's 5 super creative prompts. Again, generally for what I'm doing, I usually use everything in the straightforward prompts, but if you want to get a little out of the box and get a little like out of your comfort zone, you can start to use these. And or if you save this Idea AI, you could go back to it at any time and grab one of these prompts to then further expand on the personas that you want to build to complement the project that you're working on. So I'm not going to go through this again. If you watch the last video that I did, you'll see how to use Idea Prompt and Process. And so, you know, essentially you would copy this, you would jump in a prompt, you would paste it, and that's it. I'm not going to go through this anymore, but now it's creating a retention builder AI, and here's the persona. It's going to ask you a list of questions. You're going to have a bunch of inputs to fill out, but eventually you're then going to copy this out of here after you've answered all of these questions, and you're going to go on to have an actionable plan. So I hope that was enjoyable for you. Obviously, if you like this information, please throw a like down or a comment, depending on what you're watching this on. And let's keep learning together. I mean, every time I spend a week learning a little bit every single day, outside of the project or outside of the work that I'm working on, I keep, finding these new ways or new solutions to help work or make my life or my work easier or faster. I mean, of course, you don't want to create a make work project, but if you're learning and you're expanding and you're adapting, you might find out, say, hey, you know what, that tool or that tool sequence worked so well, I can't wait to use it, or, it would be perfect if I used it over here in this application. And this is what, I think is really important about AI and the AI space is you're going to find these little tools along the way, and you may not have ever known about them unless you watched a video like this or someone talked about it, or you then played with it for a little bit and then realized, oh my God, this has the exact application I need, or I can adapt something that I've been struggling on into this tool process and use it for an application to, for a path forward to complete or succeed on whatever task I'm trying to complete. So I hope that you enjoyed how I use AI note takers. I use Wave AI, and like I said, I think it's a great app, and I love how it connects straight to my Google Docs. I love how it transcribes. I love how it gives me a summary, and it's been an awesome tool for me. Check out the free version. See if it's something that can work for you and make your life a little bit easier when you're just kind of working through a thought process and want to just collect your thoughts, summarize them, and then have a foundation to go on and build something out of your thoughts with. So hope you have a great time, and catch you on the next one.